So today I'm going to talk about a fragrance that has been with us for the longest time, almost 21 years. Hi everyone, my name is Miran and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Flowerbomb by Viktor and Rolf is such a beauty that every fragrance lover should have in their collection. This video is not sponsored. Okay, I love this fragrance so much that I had to share my love for it with you all because it's such an elegant, beautiful fragrance. It makes me feel like a woman every time I wear this fragrance, right? It is a fragrance that will make people's head turn and ask, who is she? Who is she and how dare she smell so good? This is a fragrance that makes people fall in love with you. It's this white flowers with a little bit of rose and lots of patchouli white fragrance. There is something ambery in it which I can't put my finger on, but there's something very inviting, warm, almost like a carnal pull to it. It has been a couple of months now since I got the whole size bottle and it has macerated and it is just divine. This perfume was launched in 2004. So this is what the bottle looks like. It's so alluringly beautiful, it will make people's head turn. It is that kind of a fragrance. It does project, it does last, it does fill up a small room as well. This is a fragrance that is like daytime as well as nighttime friendly. I think it's mysterious enough for the night as well as for the day to keep it more polished and chic for office wear. I think don't spray too much during the day, but during the night, spray generously and go to town so you will be smelling sexy all throughout the night. Not that it needs too many sprays, but it's just so beautiful. Your special someone is going to fall in love with you, and if not, you are going to be your confident, beautiful self. So this fragrance had me in a chokehold for the longest time, and I always wanted a bottle of it, but it was always too pricey and out of range for me. And every time I would smell it in Sephora or in a store, I would always be like, I want this because it's so intoxicatingly beautiful. And when I finally got it, I was a little underwhelmed by it. Because whenever I smelled it in Sephora, I was always like, oh my god, this is the stuff. This is so amazing. But then the brand new bottle, which I got, I felt like the fragrance was too light. And I was like, something's wrong with my bottle. Actually, it needed a little bit of maceration, okay? It's such an oldie but a goodie, I mean, this is the kind of fragrance that will make people ask you or tell you that you smell really nice. It's that kind of a fragrance. And I know there are like a lot of flankers launched and I still feel like the OG is the OG. Like I have smelled Tiger Lily and I wasn't that blown away by Tiger Lily, honestly, as much as I'm still blown away by the original. I love the OG and I think I'll always keep this fragrance in my fragrance collection. This is one of those very sensual floral fragrances that I have ever had. Now you have to like florals to appreciate this fragrance, okay? The fragrance has a strong patchouli note. If you're familiar with this fragrance called Angel by Terry Mugler, you will know what I'm talking about. It has that patchouli base. The patchouli base in that fragrance is exactly like the patchouli that is there in this fragrance. So I feel this fragrance is more like a floral, chypre fragrance kind of category. It's not your gourmand fragrances. Like I said, you have to enjoy floral fragrances to really appreciate the beauty of it. Just spray it for you guys. Oh, this is so good, you guys. Talk about sensualness in a fragrance. That warm, inviting, almost borderlining ambery, floral, but it's like not too childish. It's very like a mature, grown-up woman. It makes me think of a sexy lady. Like she's the kind of person I feel who knows who she is. Like, she's very sure about herself. And she doesn't need like anyone's approval. She's that kind of a person. Whenever I smell this fragrance, this is the vibe that I get. It's a very self-assured, very confident woman. She's self-assured, confident, but she's not cocky. Okay, she's very like polished. She wears probably like, those matching sets, like, and pearl earrings. Very put together, very chic looking, very expensive type of a person. This is the vibe this fragrance has. Powderiness will give you this very rich lady vibe. I think this is a all year round kind of fragrance, except for summer. I feel summer would be too heavy for this fragrance because it's so warm. So the location that I live is pretty warm all year round and it just gets a little bit colder in November. It's just cold from November till early February and then it just gets warm really fast. So I feel like this fragrance is best for like slightly cooler weather. I don't think I can see myself wearing this fragrance in the summertime because it's very warm and it's very inviting sort of a fragrance. It's like a warm hug that you would want to give when it's like cold outside, and then you hug that person, you inhale their fragrance, and you're like, oh, you smell so nice. It's that vibe, this fragrance. It's very inviting, it's very intoxicating, I should say that. But at the same time, you have to appreciate floral fragrances. There's almost like a hypnotic pull to this fragrance, almost carnal. So the top notes for this fragrance are tea, bergamot, osmanthus, middle notes of orchid, jasmine, rose, freesia, African orange flower, and base notes of patchouli, musk, and vanilla. Now, like I said, for me, the patchouli is very, very evident, but it's more like a clean patchouli. It's like the angel, Teddy Mugler's angel perfume kind of patchouli. It's almost, it's like a sweet patchouli that is, not skanky or funky in any way. It doesn't make you think of like weed. It makes you think of who is that expensive person. It's that vibe, I mean, there were some fragrances launched in the 90s that had like a lot of patchouli in them, and every time I used to smell them, I would think they're so complex, so beautiful. But I guess I was just very new to fragrance industry at that point. Well, actually, I'm still very new, I feel, because I haven't smelled all the fragrances in the world, right? I still feel like, there were certain kind of fragrances that I would smell and I would be like, oh my god, this smells so expensive. I think almost every fragrance had patchouli back then. I don't know. It just made it really very complex. Like something about it made it really very complex. Now, there is an orchid note as well listed in this. I don't get that orchid. I feel like the tea and the bergamot give a bite to this fragrance, like evident tea note, but when you first spray it, you get that slightly bit of bite or a sharpness to it, and then it melts into this beautiful florally experience, which I think the white flower, which is very prominent, and it's mixed with rose and orchid in it. And then the dry down is the most beautiful part. I feel like the musk and the vanilla and the patchouli just linger on your skin and give you that very inviting experience. I feel there is this amber like quality, like I said before, like it's very inviting, very like, come hither kind of like vibe to this fragrance. There is this floral aspect, but there is this darkness to it. It's not your light, easy to like kind of fragrance. I mean, it is a crowd pleasing fragrance. No one's going to tell you that you smell bad, but there is this depth to it. There's this darkness hidden in this fragrance. To sum up in few words, I would say that this fragrance is dark, seductive, and very velvety smooth, like a velvety veil of flowers. Is this nocturnal vibe to it that I cannot put my finger on. But however, you can wear this fragrance day or night. You can literally rock this every single time. You can make this your signature scent as well. I'm going to put you on the radar of this fragrance to have an open mind to go and smell it in the Sephora. It's an oldie but a goodie. Frankly speaking, I love this fragrance. I've fallen in love with it over time. I don't think I have another fragrance that smells like this, except Angel has that patchouli note. Apart from that, I feel this fragrance is pretty unique. I wouldn't say it's niche, but it's definitely that designer niche leaning kind of a fragrance. It's not completely very, very unique. It's not very hard to like. It's pretty likable fragrance, but at the same time, some people would just like it in the air rather than on themselves. So I would say give it a test, sample it out, and see how you like this fragrance. The performance is really good on this. I think it projects at least 6 feet. It's going to fill up a small room for sure. People in your proximity are going to smell you. And yeah, I would say the longevity now that I tested this week, I would say it's like lasted me all day and night. Like I sprayed it like in the mid-afternoon. I could smell it the next day as well. When I woke up in the morning, I still had it on my arm and on my sweater, so I could smell the fragrance. I'm not saying this has like a Middle Eastern fragrance kind of a projection and longevity, but it's definitely more long lasting than your most designer fragrances. I feel it will fill up a room if it's like, if it's a little cold outside, you walk inside a small room, it will fill up the room. People will notice what you're wearing, is what I'm saying. I rate this fragrance 10 out of 10. Well, more like 100 on 10 because it's such a beautiful experience. Whether you're a floral person or not, I say have an open mind, give it a try, and I'm sure you'll like it. I hope they never discontinue this original formula because it's so good. And in today's world where designer fragrances are not lasting, this one does.